Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Janine Rogan, and I'm a financial educator, best-selling author of the book The Pink Tax, and CEO of the Wealth Building Academy, where I teach women how to build their wealth so that they can be financially independent. And this week, I wanted to chat with you about foreign exchange fees on your credit cards while you're traveling. Now, I don't think that many of us actually think about this when we're traveling. It is really easy to just leverage our credit cards to be able to spend abroad, and I am guilty of this too. It is actually costing you 2.5% more when you're using a credit card with a foreign transaction fee. Now, how do you know if you have a credit card that charges you a foreign transaction fee? Well, most credit cards actually do this, and it is really important to look at what your credit card offers. So we might use a specific credit card like the Amex Cobalt for purchases in our home country and in our home currency, and this is going to allow us to get to our financial goals faster because we're able to use those points on things like flights and hotels. Where it becomes challenging is when we're abroad and we're paying for things in a different country. Oftentimes there will be a foreign exchange fee on top of the conversion that you're actually paying. Now, most credit cards are going to charge you 2.5%. So that's 2.5% more than you were actually planning on spending. Now, there are a couple credit cards that don't charge you a foreign exchange fee or a foreign transaction fee, and I wanted to walk through a couple of those different options for you today. Now, many of these do have annual fees, so I think it is important to make sure that you're weighing the cost benefit. So if you're going to get back more than the annual fee, then it is actually worth it. But if you're only traveling once a year, it might not actually be worth it, and you might not be able to save over a few $100s in foreign exchange or foreign transaction fees. So you definitely have to weigh the cost benefit depending again how much you're actually going to be spending abroad. So the first is the Scotia Bank Gold Amex, and you can earn 1 to 6 times the points, or scene points in this case, on the purchases that you make. They don't have a foreign exchange or foreign transaction fee. They do, however, have an annual fee of $120 a year. The second card is very similar. It is the Scotiabank Platinum card, and you are going to earn 2 times the points on everything that you spend. Again, no foreign exchange or transaction fee. The downside, though, is the annual fee is actually $399. And the last option you have is the Scotiabank Passport card. You're going to earn 1 to 3 times the points on this card, and there is also an annual fee of $150. Now, the downside with these 3 cards is that they do actually earn scene points, and you can use scene points to reduce your bill at the end of the month, but you can't actually transfer them to different rewards programs. So you're kind of stuck using those scene points for the transactions that you're charging to that card. Now, the Home Trust Visa is a really good option. It has no annual fee. You get 1% cash back, so not great, but again, there's no foreign exchange fee. Again, you probably are using this cash back to reduce your bill, so it might be a great option to have in your back pocket for when you're traveling. I used to have a card similar to this. It was the Amazon credit card. They actually, unfortunately, got rid of it for Canada, which was really sad because it had no foreign exchange fee, and you got, I think, 1 to 2% cash back, which was pretty good for the time. Now, with many digital banks like EQ Bank, you could actually use your debit card, and there are no foreign exchange fees charged to you by actually using a card like that. The downside to that, obviously, is you have to load the money up before you're actually going, and if you run out of money and need to move money to that card, it might take a couple of days, so that can be challenging when you're abroad. And lastly, a couple of weeks ago, Wealthsimple announced their new credit card, which also is going to charge no foreign exchange or transaction fees on your purchases, and you're going to get 2% cash back. Now, there is a caveat. If you have over $100,000 in assets with Wealthsimple, they will waive the annual fee. I think the other caveat is if you deposit over $4,000 a month from your payroll into your Wealthsimple checkings account, they will also waive the fee. You get 2% cash back on this card, and as I mentioned, there's no foreign exchange fees. If you don't meet those thresholds, of $100,000 invested with Wealthsimple or $4,000 a month being deposited into your bank account, you're going to pay a monthly fee of $10 per month. So this ends up being about $120 a year. So I hope that gives you some really great options when it comes to actually finding a credit card that you can use while you're abroad. It is really important to make sure that you're not paying that foreign transaction fee. That's 2.5% on every single purchase, which can add up quite quickly, especially if you're paying for things in other countries like your hotels and accommodations if you didn't pay for those things beforehand. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions about credit cards, you can leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you next week.